I was in 10th grade when my mom decided to clean out my late aunt's old house in Portland, Oregon. It had been sitting empty for almost 3 years, and since we were short on money, Mom thought maybe we could sell some of her antiques online. I wasn't exactly thrilled about spending my weekend in a dusty house that smelled like mothballs and stale perfume, but I went anyway. The house stood at the end of a quiet street, surrounded by overgrown bushes and tall pines that made the place look like it was hiding. The windows were cloudy with age, and the front door creaked like it hadn't been opened in years. Inside, everything was just how my aunt had left it: porcelain figurines, old clocks, faded family photos, and that faint scent of lavender she always wore. In her bedroom, Mom asked me to go through some boxes under the bed. That's when I found it, the doll. It wasn't like any doll I'd seen before. Its head was slightly oversized, its smile too wide, and its glass eyes too bright, almost wet-looking. It had a little tag around its wrist that read, "Labubu, handmade in Japan, 1987. The name stuck with me. Labubu. It sounded weird, almost like a nickname that kids would whisper at sleepovers. Mom said she didn't remember Aunt Lila ever owning a doll like that. She told me to just pack it up with the rest. But when we got home that evening, the doll wasn't in the box anymore. I thought maybe Mom had unpacked it, but she hadn't. Later that night, I found it sitting on my desk, facing my bed. I didn't think much of it. I figured I must have accidentally left it there when I unloaded the car. Still, there was something unsettling about the way it stared. Its grin seemed different. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to the faint sound of tapping. Slow, deliberate tapping, like fingernails against wood. It was coming from my desk. When I looked over, the doll had shifted. I remember sitting up, my heart racing, staring at it for what felt like forever. I told myself it was just my imagination, that I must have bumped the desk or something. But I couldn't shake that feeling, that quiet, crawling feeling that someone was in the room with me. The next morning, I put Labubu in the attic. Out of sight, out of mind. Or so I thought. Over the next few days, strange things started happening. I'd hear that same soft tapping, sometimes from the attic, sometimes from behind my door. My dog, Cooper, refused to go upstairs. He'd just sit at the bottom of the staircase and growl softly at nothing. One afternoon, I came home from school and found muddy footprints in the hallway, tiny ones, like from a child's shoes. They led from the attic door all the way to my bedroom. When I opened my door, Labubu was sitting on my pillow. I threw the doll into the trash that night. But around midnight the tapping came back, louder this time, frantic. And then, from downstairs, I heard Cooper barking like crazy, claws scraping the floor. Then a yelp, and silence. I ran downstairs. Cooper was gone. His collar was lying near the back door, which was slightly open. Mom called the police, but they found nothing. No signs of a break-in, no tracks, nothing. Just a cold draft that wouldn't go away, like the air itself was whispering. I didn't sleep that night. I could hear faint giggling from the walls, like a child humming an old lullaby. I moved out of that house a week later to live with my dad across town. I didn't take anything from that place, not clothes, not books, not a single memory. 2 months passed before I heard about the fire. Mom had stayed behind to finish packing. The neighbors said it started in the attic. The entire top floor burned down before the firefighters got there. They said the fire was so intense that nothing upstairs survived, except one thing. It was found sitting perfectly upright in the middle of the charred floorboards. When I went to the ruins later, the air felt heavy. The smell of smoke and something else, something sour, hung in the air. I looked at where my room used to be, and for a split second, I thought I heard that faint tapping again. The fire report said it was caused by an old fuse box. But when I looked at the photos from the investigation, one thing stood out. In every single photo of the attic, no matter the angle, the doll's eyes seemed to be looking directly at the camera. The Labubu doll was sent for examination, but a week later, it went missing from evidence storage. No one knows where it went. Sometimes I dream about it, those bright, wet eyes staring at me through the dark, that grin just a little wider than before. And every time I wake up, I swear I can still hear the faint sound of tapping. Somewhere inside the walls?